Completely different video today because I'm answering questions from some people who have viewed my videos. And the one thing they've said is you've had all of this great feedback for people, you're generating these interviews and it's very helpful, but you haven't taken time to say, what do you struggle with, Glenn? And that's what today's episode is about. What holds Glenn back? So let's dive into today's episode. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of You're in Charge, Now What? I'm your host, Glenn Pasch, and as you know, the goal of this channel is to help those of you who find yourself in charge of a team, a project, a division, or even a business build the skills necessary to lead high-performing teams because we can't do everything ourselves. We need teams around us, and if you don't know how to really motivate them and keep them moving forward, you're never going to achieve the results that you want. And so that's where we share tips and strategies each week, either mine or sometimes from my guests, to help you build the skills necessary to keep these consistent results going. So if you've been here before and you haven't subscribed, please click the button below. This way you're notified when I post new videos out, which I do every single week, and I don't want you to miss anything. So all about me. If you ask my wife, she'll say that the last thing I want to do is talk about myself. I'm always out trying to help others. It's all about the team, not about me. And that's why I'm doing this video, because a few of you have asked me, what about you? How are you doing? You know, how are you keeping yourself going forward? How do you keep leading teams? And more importantly, what do you struggle with? So I wanted to talk about two main things that I have to be aware of. I'm not sure if the word struggle is, it could just be a lack of focus at times, or it's more, what do I have to be aware of to keep myself moving forward? So number one, the biggest thing is this sense of consistency. Now, again, you can ask my team, ask my wife, ask other people who know me. They will say Glenn is one of the most task-oriented people, or one of the most organized people there is. And he has no problem getting onto a new project and following a routine. Well, yes, but that's also because it's taken me a long time to understand that if I don't, it's not that I get distracted, it's meaning that I get distracted that I don't think what I'm doing is working. I mean, it's part of it because we do like to see instantaneous results, but I'm good about long-term planning and things of that nature. It's more getting distracted because someone else needs something, or again, this is my struggle with consistency, is putting other people's needs ahead of mine. And so be it the team. Now at home where we are with COVID, it's, well, I have to do this, but family comes up, or I'll get to it tomorrow. I always get back to it. But I think the key for leaders is having a structure where there are certain things that are non-negotiable, be it that this is the way I start my day. I look at my goals, I do some reading, I write down notes, whatever your routine is. Mine is I get up, I check the news, I check my emails to make sure nothing went on that needs my attention, and then I go to have a cup of coffee, I go to work out, I have breakfast with the family, and then I go on to work. So all of that is a routine. But in terms of consistency on projects, it is really hard for me. I have to schedule myself. So that's a tool tip for you right now, is putting things on a schedule. Even if it's working on a PowerPoint for an upcoming presentation, even if it's working on an article that today I don't see the value or the instantaneous results of. But I have to spend time, because if I don't put things on the schedule, then I'm pulled in a million different directions. So that's a little tip for you in terms of being consistent, blocking out time on your schedule for things that you have to do to move yourself forward or a bigger project. But that again is that the fight with consistency is not seeing those results and having faith that if I watch my diet 75, 80% of the time, over the long haul, I will lose weight. If I focus on marketing and building up campaigns and I stay consistent with the message and consistent with the approach of targeting and reaching the audience and giving great content out, I have faith that people will know who I am. People will come to the company. People will reach out to us for solutions. But it is that consistency of short-term wins and long-term projects. And that, to me, is one of the things that I struggle with, is that sense of consistency, because I'm willing to put other people ahead of me at times, and that slows down some of my progress. So that's number one. Consistency is something that I have to focus on, and using my schedule is something that allows me to, again, work on that 80% consistency. The other 20% is sometimes, you have to be flexible. The other thing as a leader that is a struggle for me is, and it took me a long time to do this, is that feeling you should be in the position. Now that may seem odd, again, that I've accomplished so much, but it's an interesting thing when you look at other leaders, and maybe their company's bigger than yours. I remember sitting with a gentleman who owns a very large company, Fortune 500 company, nicest gentleman in the world. But there is a little bit of intimidation going, wow, my company's just this big, and he, oh my God, he must have all these big, vast problems, and he's such a better leader than I am. And I sat down and I was chatting with this gentleman and a few other people. And what I noticed was he was having the exact same discussions about his company as I have about my company. Now, maybe the projects had an extra 0 at the end, or maybe he had more employees, but it was the same conversations. He was focused on, how do I take care of my customers, the customer experience I deliver? How do I take care of my employees? How do I hire the right employees? How do I promote effectively? How do I hold people accountable? How am I helping my team grow? All of the things that I focus on with my team, things that I focus on with myself and look at, or think are important to my ecosystem, are exactly the same. So it is something for you as you're taking on a team, as you're taking on a new role, or you're moving up in a company. There's a reason why you're there. You have the skill set, or someone believes you have the skill set. It is that then consistency of work ethic and asking for help. All the things we've been talking about so far in the first 25 plus videos of asking for help. It's not a weakness if you ask for help. Making sure you're clear with your team, putting in the time, making sure that you're helping them. All of those pieces come together. There's a reason why you're in this position. And having that sense of saying, it's all the same, it's just something's bigger. But if you think about that gentleman I was talking to, he didn't oversee 800 employees, yes, from a global sense, but he focused on his team of 8 people, just like you're focusing on your team of 8 people. Now, his 8 people have a team of 8 people each that then have teams underneath them, and that's how it exponentially gets down to the front lines to handle 800 people. But it is that concept of, that you're capable. You can do what you've been tasked to do. If you don't know, ask for help. Put in the time, learn the skills. That's where consistency comes in. Know that change is not happening overnight, but little steps will lead you to that end goal. And then as soon as you achieve that goal, sorry to say, there's another goal. There's always something. There's always something you want to work on. There's always something you want to achieve. Consistency of your effort, your work ethic, as I said, asking for help and applying the help and falling on your face and not looking at failure as something negative, but always moving yourself forward, but having that faith in yourself that you are capable. There's a reason why you're there. And those are 2 things, again, that sense of consistency and not giving up everything for someone else and making sure that you're doing what you need to do and staying flexible, And then believing in yourself that you have it. It took me a long time. I'm here now. That still doesn't mean that I don't look at some of these other very big leaders or very important people that have accomplished way more than I have, that it isn't a little intimidating. And I'd be, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say some of that is a little, whew, I can't believe I'm here. But you are there, and you're there for a reason. And they can learn from you just like you can learn from them. So once you click into that, and once you get past that, it all becomes fun. Because when you're sitting in front of that big leader, ask them the questions. You're there to take advantage. Don't miss that opportunity to pick their brain, because maybe they'll give you something that'll help. So again, those are the two things that I work on all the time. And I have to remind myself, and I have my tools, I have my friends, I have my family, I have my team to help me through this, either to hold me accountable or push me, or be that sense to say, Glenn, you are capable of doing this. So I hope that helped you, because I'd like to do more of these, answering questions for you, but I made a little pivot on this one to say, here's what I struggle with, because I don't want you to think that all of these videos are Glenn has it perfect and Glenn's never made mistakes. I make mistakes every single day. I just don't dwell on them. I try to look at them, see what I can learn from it, and hopefully not make the same mistake over and over and over and over and over again. So again, I hope that helped you. I appreciate your attention. If you haven't subscribed yet, just please click the button down below. Please put your comments in here. I'd love to hear what you think about this style of video. Do more of these types of videos. I appreciate your attention. As I say at the end of every video, you're in charge. But now hopefully you have a few more tools to make you more successful. Thanks again. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.